Experts are warning that the winter of 2024 could be one of the harshest in history. Think extreme cold, relentless storms, and a power grid under massive strain. Across the United States, the aging energy infrastructure and rising demand are creating a perfect storm. This isn't just a warning, it's a looming crisis. The North American Electric Reliability Corporation has flagged regions of the U.S. as dangerously vulnerable to power failures. Rolling blackouts are not just a possibility, they're highly likely. Imagine homes plunged into freezing darkness, heating systems shutting down, and even water supplies freezing solid. Without power, life as we know it halts, and survival becomes a test of preparation and resilience. Why you must prepare now. Picture this: 90 days without electricity. No timeline for repairs. Temperatures dropping to deadly lows. When nature strikes, it doesn't show mercy. Resources will vanish quickly, and desperation will take hold. If you're not ready, this winter could be catastrophic. Survival will demand more than just hope. It'll take smart planning and action. Stay warm or freeze. Heat is survival. When the power goes out, central heating systems stop working, leaving your home as cold as the outdoors. And hypothermia doesn't wait. It can set in within minutes, even indoors if you're unprepared. Here's how to stay ahead of the cold. 1. Invest in a reliable heat source stock up on safe alternative heat sources like propane or kerosene heaters. But remember, safety is crucial. These devices can emit dangerous gases if not properly ventilated. Make sure you have a battery-powered or hand-crank carbon monoxide detector to avoid the silent danger of CO buildup. 2. Stockpile enough fuel. Fuel supplies may run out during a prolonged outage, so plan for at least 3 months. Calculate your usage carefully. Heaters burn fuel fast. Third layer, up. Smartly. Forget ordinary blankets. Invest in heavy-duty wool blankets, thermal clothing, and thick socks. For sleeping, layered sleeping bags are a game changer. Even Mylar emergency blankets can reflect body heat efficiently and add an extra layer of protection. 4. Ventilation is non-negotiable. While staying warm is critical, your safety comes first. Always ensure proper ventilation when using fuel-based heaters. Key takeaway: this isn't about comfort, it's survival. Waiting until the storm hits will be too late. Act now to protect your loved ones. In the battle against winter's fury, preparation isn't optional, it's the line between life and death. Surviving a harsh winter, heat, backup plans, and community. When it comes to staying warm during a brutal winter blackout, every little detail counts. Mylar emergency blankets are lightweight, compact, and incredibly efficient at reflecting body heat. These small, often overlooked items can be a lifesaver. Use them as an extra layer over your bedding to boost insulation. Your body is an excellent heat source, so don't forget to huddle together with family members or pets. Sharing warmth like this can make a big difference in keeping everyone safe and comfortable. Surviving without power requires preparation, resourcefulness, and the right tools. The cold doesn't care about your plans. It's relentless. But by planning ahead, gathering essential supplies, and having backup strategies in place, you can protect yourself and your loved ones from the deadly grip of freezing temperatures. Creating your warm zone. When the power goes out and the temperature drops, staying warm becomes a fight for survival. A smart strategy is to dedicate one room as your warm zone. Seal off drafts and gaps and focus all your heating efforts on this room. This helps to conserve precious heat and stretch your limited fuel supply. But let's be honest, no plan is perfect. A broken heater or running out of fuel could leave you cold and vulnerable. That's why backup solutions are crucial. Stock up on chemical hand warmers. These tiny packs are a lifesaver, preventing frostbite when temperatures plummet. For a more comprehensive emergency plan, consider more unconventional methods like heating rocks. Heat them in an outdoor fire and bring them indoors in a sealed metal container. These rocks can radiate warmth for hours, without using up your precious oxygen supply. If you have the space and resources, installing a small wood stove can make a huge difference in extreme conditions. Making tough decisions. Burn what you have to stay warm. In some situations, survival means making tough sacrifices. If you're running low on heat, don't hesitate to burn anything you can find to stay warm. Furniture, scrap wood, even old books. It may feel painful to destroy sentimental items, but your life is more important than your possessions. Keeping your body temperature stable is the #1 priority. Remember, belongings can be replaced, but lives can't. Community. Survival is stronger together. You might think you can survive alone, but the reality is, you can't. In a prolonged power outage, isolation isn't a sign of strength. It's a vulnerability. No one can prepare for everything, and attempting to do so alone will quickly lead to exhaustion. That's where a community comes in. A strong, reliable group of people you trust can make all the difference. Think of your neighbors, close friends, and nearby family. When the power goes out and chaos sets in, they aren't just neighbors anymore. They become your survival team. But building a community isn't about inviting just anyone. It's about selecting individuals who bring valuable skills to the table. In a grid-down scenario, you need a diverse set of abilities. Medical expertise, mechanical skills, and defensive training are just a few of the contributions that could save lives. Effective communication is key. Staying connected is vital during a crisis. Set up a communication system that everyone in your group understands. Whether it's walkie-talkies, CB radios, or simple signals, make sure everyone knows how to stay in touch. When the grid is down, effective communication can be the difference between life and death. Surviving a winter blackout isn't just about being prepared. It's about being smart and working together. Stay warm, stay connected, and survive as a team. When things get tough, survival isn't just about having the right supplies. It's about coordination and safety. Idle chatter becomes secondary when every moment counts. One of the most crucial aspects of surviving a crisis is pooling resources. A community's collective stockpile will always stretch further than any single person's. For example, you might have a surplus of food, while a neighbor has medical supplies, or someone nearby may have access to a well for fresh water. This is where cooperation and mutual exchange become essential. Establishing a simple barter system before a crisis hits can be the difference between having what you need and going without. Without trust, even the best prepared survival plans will falter. It's vital to choose people you can rely on, build strong connections, and clearly set expectations with your group. When disaster strikes, your community can be your greatest asset, or it can be your downfall. Trust is the foundation of any survival community, and without it, even the most organized efforts will collapse. Survival is a team effort. By banding together, you're far more likely to make it through tough times than if you were on your own. Tensions can rise, setting boundaries. In a prolonged crisis, tensions are inevitable. As resources dwindle, people can turn desperate, and the potential for conflict rises. To navigate these challenges, it's vital to set clear boundaries and communicate openly. This isn't just about having supplies, it's about managing expectations. A well-organized community offers more than just emotional support. It provides practical advantages, especially when it comes to defense. No single person can stay vigilant 24/7, but a small group can rotate shifts and watch out for potential threats. A neighborhood working together can establish neighborhood watches or collective defense strategies to protect shared resources. In rural areas, consider setting up lookout points, or even creating a shared alarm system. In urban settings, staying alert to unusual activity and helping each other out can be crucial. A single fortified home might attract unwanted attention, but an entire street prepared to stand strong together becomes a powerful deterrent. Isolation leads to hopelessness. Survival isn't just about food, water, and warmth. It's also about mental resilience. When you're facing extreme challenges, a community offers moral support and helps you maintain a sense of normalcy. In the toughest moments, a shared laugh, a meal together, or even quiet companionship can do wonders to restore your strength. Isolation can lead to hopelessness, and hopelessness can be deadly. When you're facing an uncertain and chaotic future, being with others is not just comforting, it's essential. A united group can share the burden, lighten the load, and provide a sense of security that no individual effort can match. Together, survival isn't just possible, it becomes sustainable. Medical preparedness, self-sufficiency, is key. In a grid-down scenario, medical care will be one of your biggest challenges. Hospitals and pharmacies will be overwhelmed, and professional help will be nearly impossible to find. In these situations, you're fully responsible for your own medical care. Whether it's a cut, a burn, or an illness, you need to be prepared to handle it yourself. Make sure you've got an emergency medical kit with supplies like bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, and essential medications. Keep in mind that injuries and illnesses will only get worse without proper care, and time is of the essence. Be proactive. Don't wait for the crisis to hit before gathering medical supplies. Having a solid plan in place can make all the difference between life and death in a world without professional medical help. Key takeaway: preparation isn't just about gear and supplies. It's about community, trust, and mental toughness. Together, you can weather even the harshest storms. In a grid-down situation, even a minor injury or infection can escalate into a life-threatening emergency without proper care. That's why a well-stocked, survival-grade first aid kit is absolutely essential. This isn't just a kit with Band-Aids and aspirin. This is the equipment you'll need to handle real medical emergencies and prevent small problems from spiraling out of control. Start by focusing on wound care, as cuts and scrapes are inevitable in harsh conditions. Stock up on alcohol wipes, iodine, or hydrogen peroxide for cleaning wounds. You'll also need sterile gauze, adhesive bandages, butterfly closures, and medical tape for proper dressing. Don't forget antibiotic ointments. Yes, multiple tubes. Infections can develop quickly and get much worse if left untreated. If you're able, try to get your hands on sterile sutures and learn how to use them. Being able to stitch a wound closed in an emergency could be the difference between life and death. Pain management is another critical aspect. Over-the-counter painkillers like ibuprofen and acetaminophen are must-haves, and you should stock enough to last several months. Think beyond basic pain relief. Muscle relaxers, antihistamines, anti-nausea medications, and anti-diarrheal pills are also essential. These can turn severe discomfort into something manageable. Don't overlook electrolyte packets. They are crucial in case of dehydration, especially if someone has gastrointestinal issues. If you or anyone in your household has a chronic condition like high blood pressure, diabetes, or asthma, now is the time to prepare. These conditions won't just go away in a crisis. Consult your doctor about getting extra supplies of necessary medications or researching alternative treatments you can store for when professional care isn't available. For temperature-sensitive medications, like insulin or inhalers, make sure you have extras on hand. You'll need to plan ahead for refrigeration in case power goes out. Consider solar-powered coolers, ice packs, or insulated bags to extend the viability of these critical supplies for days. Handling hidden dangers. Prepare for hidden threats like bacterial infections, food poisoning, and viral illnesses. While antibiotics play a critical role in treating infections, pharmacy closures might make them difficult to access. One alternative is fish antibiotics, which are chemically identical to human antibiotics and often easier to find. But use them responsibly, research proper dosages, and store them securely. Without access to professional medical care, even a minor cut or a case of food poisoning can quickly turn life-threatening. Antibiotics are a lifesaver in these situations, but remember to use them only when necessary to avoid contributing to antibiotic resistance, a risk you can't afford in a survival scenario. Essential medical skills. Invest time in learning essential medical skills. Knowing CPR, wound care, splinting, and basic suturing can be life-saving in an emergency. Enroll in a first aid course if possible, as these skills will make you the medic when professional help isn't available. Build a mental library of survival medicine techniques. In a crisis, the solutions will come from you and you alone. When the grid goes down, having a comprehensive medical kit and the skills to use it can make the difference between life and death. Food preservation, outlast, spoilage, and waste. You've been working hard to stockpile supplies, but let's face it, without power, your food is at risk. Fresh produce, dairy, and meat will spoil in just days, and even canned goods have their limits. Without refrigeration, your fridge and freezer won't last more than 48 hours. If you're counting on a few cans of beans and crackers to survive, you're walking a dangerous line. Preserving food without power. To outlast spoilage, you need a long-term food preservation strategy. Focus on foods that don't require refrigeration, like dried goods, freeze-dried meals, and dehydrated foods. Also, invest in cool storage solutions, like root cellars, and consider using vacuum sealing for long-term storage of meats and perishables. Planning for food preservation now ensures that you won't run out of options when the power goes out and your traditional food sources are no longer available. Make sure your pantry includes enough food to last several months, and always have a backup plan to prevent waste. Preparing in advance could make all the difference when it's time to rely on your supplies to survive. Food preservation, outlast spoilage without refrigeration. Surviving without power means finding ways to preserve food without refrigeration, microwaves, or any modern conveniences. It all starts with focusing on shelf-stable foods like rice, beans, lentils, dried pasta, and canned proteins such as tuna and chicken. These staples will form the backbone of your food stockpile, but you can't stop there. To truly prepare, you'll need to preserve perishable items you can't consume right away. Learn essential preservation techniques like dehydrating, pickling, and fermenting. If you have fresh produce or meat, don't wait. Preserve it immediately. You can jar or dry it out, and pickling kits are inexpensive, for now. Stock up while you can, and learn the art of home canning. With the right equipment, you can preserve fresh vegetables for months, turning them into long-term food assets. If you have space, consider root cellaring. Even without a traditional cellar, a cool, dark closet or basement corner can keep hardy vegetables like potatoes, carrots, and onions fresh longer. With food prices already rising, buying in bulk and storing it properly not only saves money, but also provides essential nutrition when supplies are scarce. Invest in large quantities of salt and vinegar. Both are essential for flavor and preservation. And if you don't have a cellar, consider a simple yet effective solution: burying containers underground. This primitive method can help keep your food cool for extended periods, and in a long-term survival scenario, that buried stash could be a lifesaver. Waste is your enemy. Every bit of food that spoils is essentially wasted. Use everything you can or compost it to grow more food. To ensure nothing goes to waste, invest in airtight containers that keep pests, like rats and bugs, out. Rodents will be a problem, so it's critical to protect your stockpile. Treat your food like it's life or death, because in a grid-down world, a single spoiled meal could mean survival or collapse. Every ounce, every calorie counts. Water. Stockpile, purify, and protect your lifeline. Water is essential. Without it, survival becomes impossible within days. When the power goes out, access to clean, drinkable water can vanish almost instantly. Municipal systems depend on electricity to pump and treat water, and if the grid fails, your faucets could stop running. Or worse, they might pour out contaminated water. You need to secure a reliable, sizable water supply, not just for drinking, but also for cooking, bathing, cleaning, and even basic first aid. Start by storing at least 1 gallon of water per person, per day, for a minimum of 90 days. Bottled water is a great starting point, but it won't be enough. Water is heavy, and you might burn through your stash faster than you think. To prepare for long-term scenarios, redundancy is key. Expand your storage capacity by investing in large water storage tanks, barrels, or even rainwater collection systems. Clean, food-grade plastic containers can work in a pinch, but make sure they're sealed tightly and stored away from light to prevent algae growth. Regularly inspect and rotate your stock to avoid bacterial contamination. A single crack in your container could ruin your entire supply. Purification is critical. Even with a robust water reserve, purification is a must. Invest in high-quality, multi-stage water filters that can handle a range of contaminants: bacteria, viruses, protozoa, and chemical pollutants. Gravity-fed systems, like Berkey or Kadan, are excellent options because they process large amounts of water without requiring electricity, which is crucial when the grid is down. These systems ensure you always have access to clean water, no matter the circumstances. Backup water. Purification methods. Be ready for anything. In a survival situation, backup purification methods are crucial. Stock up on water purification tablets, unscented bleach, and iodine, all reliable options to treat water when there's no filtration system available. However, you need to learn the proper ratios for chemical treatments, as one small mistake can either make your water unsafe or even toxic. If you're near natural water sources like streams, rivers, or lakes, develop a system for collecting, treating, and storing raw water. Wild water can be dangerous due to contaminants like animal waste, pollutants, and harmful bacteria. Always plan to boil, filter, and purify every drop before drinking. Consider investing in tools like a rocket stove or a solar oven to boil water without using electricity. Have durable pots and containers ready that can withstand high heat, ensuring your water is properly treated. Once you've stockpiled and purified your water, protect it. In a crisis, water will become as valuable as gold. Secure your supply and store it in a place that others can't easily find. Be prepared to defend it. When the power goes out and resources dwindle, people who run out of water will come searching for yours. In a grid-down world, water isn't just a resource, it's your lifeline. Protect it at all costs. Light up your night, or live in darkness. When the power grid fails, darkness will take over. Without lights, your home turns into an overwhelming pitch-black void. Navigating through this darkness isn't just inconvenient, it's a direct risk to your safety and mental well-being. Without light, you become vulnerable. Simple tasks that were once easy, like finding your way to the bathroom or cooking, become dangerous. The lack of visibility can increase the risk of injury, and the mental strain of darkness for extended periods can lead to anxiety and isolation. You'll need more than just a flickering candle to get by. You need reliable, continuous light to function safely and maintain your mental energy. Start by preparing an emergency lighting arsenal. Invest in battery-powered lanterns, flashlights, and headlamps. Stockpile batteries in bulk. Think in terms of hundreds, not just dozens. Opt for long-lasting alkaline batteries, but don't overlook rechargeable options or solar chargers, which can ensure your lights stay powered even during a lengthy grid outage. Hand crank flashlights are a must-have, since they require no batteries. While they can be tiring to use for long periods, they're incredibly valuable in an emergency. Headlamps are also essential. They free up your hands for tasks like cooking or administering first aid, while still providing you with enough light. Don't forget about the basics, like candles. While old-fashioned, they can still be useful in a pinch. Go for unscented, long-burning candles, or even make your own. However, always use candles in fireproof holders, and never leave them unattended. For more lighting options, consider oil lamps with a stockpile of lamp oil. While they provide a warm and steady light, be cautious with the fumes, and make sure you have proper ventilation. If you're looking for solar-powered lights, they're an excellent investment. Install motion detectors around your perimeter for added security. Solar garden lights can be used both inside and outside your home. They charge during the day and can be brought inside at night for emergency lighting. You can also create lighting zones in your home. one for the kitchen, bathroom, sleeping areas, and a common area. By limiting the use of lights to these areas, you can conserve energy and fuel during extended power outages. With the right lighting plan, you can illuminate your home without draining batteries or fuel, ensuring that you stay safe, secure, and able to continue your essential tasks through the long nights of a grid-down world. Fortify your home. Protect what's yours. When society begins to crumble, the line between friend and foe will blur. People will become desperate, and those who haven't prepared will go after the resources you've worked so hard to protect. Don't make the mistake of thinking a simple lock and key will keep your home and supplies safe. In a prolonged grid-down situation, your house is no longer just a place to live. It becomes your fortress, and you must fortify it to protect both yourself and your resources. Start by strengthening all your entry points, especially doors, windows, and other vulnerable areas. Install deadbolts, door bars, and window locks. These are no longer optional, they're life-saving barriers. In a crisis, the demand for security will skyrocket, and prices will rise, so it's crucial to prepare now. Consider adding multiple locking mechanisms and reinforcing or even barring windows. Don't rely on flimsy curtains. Use blackout materials to make your home less visible to potential threats. Steel security bars and plywood may seem costly now, but in a survival scenario, they'll be priceless. In addition to physical barriers, alarms, even low-tech ones, are vital. Set up tripwires or noise traps with cans filled with rocks, or invest in more advanced systems like motion sensors and battery-operated alarms. Solar-powered tech is inexpensive, but the prices are rising, so buy what you can now or modify existing items to suit your needs. When an alarm goes off, it's crucial to be ready. Have defensive tools like a bat, crowbar, pepper spray, or even a whistle handy to buy yourself extra time to prepare. However, remember that a locked door is just a delay. Without a plan, you're not truly securing your home. Firearms, if legal and appropriate, are important, but the real challenge is mental readiness. You need the training and discipline to use them effectively when the time comes. To ensure everyone's safety, practice defensive drills and create a communication plan with your family. Set up a secure room in the house where everyone can gather if needed. Deterrence is key. Make your home look like a hard target. Team up with neighbors to fortify your neighborhood, set up a community watch, and help each other stay secure. The more fortified your area, the less likely it is to become a target. Desperation will push people to extreme measures, and once resources become scarce, your home could become a prime target. Think long-term, plan for sustained security, not just a few nights of protection. In a world where 90 days could change everything, it's the homes that are well fortified, well prepared, and well guarded that will stand the best chance. In a grid-down situation, sanitation isn't just about cleanliness, it's about survival. When systems like sewage and trash collection collapse, what was once a minor inconvenience can quickly escalate into a serious health hazard. Without proper waste management, your surroundings could become breeding grounds for dangerous diseases. Contaminated water, decaying waste, and uncollected trash can lead to illnesses like dysentery, cholera, and other life-threatening diseases. Many people overlook sanitation in their preparations, thinking they'll figure it out when the time comes. But this mistake could be far worse than hunger or lack of shelter. The first step is to prepare your home with the right tools and systems to handle waste. You'll need to think about alternative sanitation methods, such as portable toilets or bucket systems, especially if traditional plumbing isn't available. Keep a stockpile of toilet paper, sanitation bags, cleaning supplies, and disinfectants. You'll also need a safe and hygienic way to dispose of waste. Plan for this early to avoid creating dangerous conditions. Waste disposal will become one of your highest priorities in an extended crisis, and failing to plan ahead could put your life and the lives of your loved ones at risk. By preparing for sanitation, you'll protect not just your environment, but also your health and survival chances during a prolonged crisis. If your toilet stops flushing, it's crucial to have a backup plan for human waste management. Begin by stocking up on heavy-duty contractor-grade trash bags. You'll go through them much faster than expected. These bags can line your toilet, serving as a temporary solution for waste. But you'll also need a safe way to dispose of it. Consider burying waste away from water sources or, if possible, setting up an outdoor latrine. If you can afford it, invest in a composting toilet, as they will become more expensive and harder to find as demand rises. If that's not an option, a simple bucket toilet can work in a pinch. However, don't underestimate how quickly odors and mess can accumulate. Lime or sawdust can help cover waste and reduce the smell. While these might seem inexpensive now, they'll be essential during a long-term crisis. Managing your trash will also be crucial, as without garbage collection, the buildup of waste could lead to unsanitary conditions. Store it in sealed, airtight containers until you're able to properly dispose of it. If possible, keep the trash outside to avoid indoor odor. Bleach will be a multi-purpose, life-saving tool. It disinfects surfaces, treats water, and kills harmful pathogens. A single contaminated surface can quickly spread illness to your entire household, so it's vital to have sanitizing supplies in every room. Additionally, gray water, water from washing, cooking, or cleaning, needs to be dealt with carefully. Use buckets or basins to collect it, and avoid dumping it carelessly. If not handled properly, gray water can attract pests or contaminate your water supply. Consider investing in filters that can handle gray water, or use it for non-drinking purposes, such as flushing makeshift toilets or cleaning. Don't allow stagnant water to sit, as it can quickly turn into a breeding ground for mosquitoes, which will further increase health risks. Finally, hygiene is critical. Even a small injury can escalate into a severe infection if untreated. Stock up on soap, hand sanitizer, and antiseptic wipes. These aren't luxuries, they are necessities, and their prices will rise as more people recognize their importance. A few dollars spent on soap today could prevent a deadly infection in the future. Sanitation is an ongoing battle that must be fought every day to keep you and your loved ones safe and healthy in a crisis. When the grid goes down, communication lines will be severed. No checking the news, no getting internet updates. Isolation can be deadly, as it means you might miss crucial survival cues such as approaching weather, the movement of desperate people, or the status of local resources. If you're waiting for old-school news to trickle in once the dust settles, you're already too late. In a crisis, information is priceless, and if you're not actively gathering it, you're putting yourself at risk. Start with a battery-powered or hand-crank emergency radio, ideally one with NOAA weather alerts. These radios are becoming more expensive as they're in higher demand, but they're non-negotiable. Solar-powered options are even better because, unlike battery-powered models, they won't run out of power eventually. A good emergency radio keeps you updated on critical information, like weather changes or updates on local threats, so you're not blindsided by unexpected situations. Stay proactive. Being in the know could make the difference between surviving and being caught off guard when disaster strikes. When the grid goes down, government broadcasts and local alerts may be unavailable or unreliable. In such times, relying on a radio only serves as a basic tool for gathering information. To ensure full communication with your group or others in your area, invest in two-way radios or walkie-talkies. These are essential in both urban and rural environments, allowing you to communicate directly without relying on cellular networks or the internet. Choose high-range models if you're in a rural setting, and make sure everyone in your group has one. Walkie-talkies are simple, reliable, and easy to use, but it's important to practice with them beforehand. Establish a system of codes or signals that allow you to communicate without alerting outsiders to your presence. While prices for quality models are rising, the cost of not staying connected is far higher. For more advanced communication, consider ham radios. Though they require more knowledge to operate, ham radios are a game changer, enabling you to communicate over vast distances and even connect with other survivalists or emergency operators. While you'll need a license now to operate one in a grid-down scenario, the rules may no longer apply. Ham radios offer unparalleled reach, and their prices are climbing, so it's crucial to invest in one before they become even more expensive. Learning the basics of ham radio operation through books and guides is invaluable. Don't underestimate this resource. Even without high-tech gear, simple low-tech solutions like a whistle, signal mirror, or flare gun can be life-saving in emergency situations. These tools provide a reliable way to signal for help or warn others, especially if your radios fail or batteries run out. Stock up on flares, signal mirrors, and chalk or markers to leave signs if you need to move locations. Communication is not a convenience, it's a lifeline. During a prolonged blackout, it's the difference between knowing what's coming and being blindsided by danger. Gather these now while they're still available. Next, prepare for the harsh reality of isolation, losing contact with loved ones. And the outside world can lead to deep loneliness, and that's a dangerous place to be. People can break down quickly under extreme isolation if you're with others. Set aside time each day for connection, whether it's talking, playing games, or simply sharing a moment of silence. This isn't just for emotional comfort, it's essential for survival. Human connection provides stability in moments of panic or despair, but keep in mind, not everyone can handle this pressure. The same way stress can change behavior rapidly, and someone who was calm one day might act erratic or fearful. The next, prepare yourself for these changes and create a designated space for anyone needing a mental break. Psychological preparedness. Kits are in high demand as people realize the critical role they play. Items like mindfulness, guides, coping tools, and even calming essential oils can be life-saving in these situations. The availability of such supplies is dwindling, so be sure to stock up while you can. People with a survival mindset don't just wait for things to get bad, they adapt. But adaptability isn't automatic. It's something you develop practice at now by handling small inconveniences with a survivalist mentality. Embrace discomfort, because every day in a grid-down scenario, we test your patience, resilience, and nerves. When despair hits, remember, despair kills faster than hunger, thirst, or even exposure in a prolonged crisis. The mentally strong survive, while those who falter often make irreversible mistakes. Mental fortitude isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Without power, without answers, and with no way out, it's your mind that will keep you from breaking. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and comment below with your favorite holiday grocery tips. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more practical advice to keep your pantry prepared year-round. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. As society faces increasing uncertainty, preparing for the harsh reality of isolation is just as important as securing physical supplies. Losing contact with loved ones and the outside world can lead to deep loneliness, and that's a dangerous place to be. Under extreme isolation, people can quickly break down, and the stress of it all can lead to mistakes that cost survival. If you're with others, make it a priority to connect daily, whether it's through conversation, playing games, or simply sharing a quiet moment. Human connection isn't just for emotional comfort, it's essential for survival. During moments of panic or despair, having someone by your side to rely on can provide the stability needed to endure. But remember, not everyone handles stress the same way. Stress can shift behavior quickly, and someone who was calm one day may act erratic or fearful the next. Be prepared for these shifts and create a designated space where people can take a mental break when needed. Psychological preparedness is as critical as physical readiness. Mindfulness guides, coping tools, and even calming essential oils can be lifesavers in high-stress moments. The availability of these supplies is shrinking, so don't wait to gather them. Stock up while you can. People with a survival mindset don't just wait for things to go bad, they adapt. Adaptability, however, isn't something that happens automatically. It's a skill you can develop now by handling small inconveniences with a survivalist mentality. Embrace discomfort, because every day in a grid-down situation will challenge your patience, resilience, and nerves. When despair sets in, remember that despair kills faster than hunger, thirst, or even exposure. In prolonged crises, it's the mentally strong who survive. Those who falter often make irreversible mistakes. Mental fortitude isn't a luxury, it's a necessity.